This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side fly, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hi, this is Guillermo, and this is Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Guillermo.
Hello. My pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. Just a little bit tired. I've been the whole day outside of my house, and I mean, just it's working and then hitting the gym and then like meeting with friends. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, and where can we find you next event-wise?
I'm sorry?
Where can we find you next event-wise?
Oh, next event is in Madrid, actually. It's Total Rumble 10, which is the biggest show in Madrid, and I will be there this Saturday.
Okay. And where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
My social media, I have, well, now it's called X, which is at Guille Wrestling, and on Instagram, Guille underscore, no, well, Guillermo Wrestler.
Okay, and do you have, what can we buy merchandise?
Merchandise, yeah, I have shirts. Are you like asking that, right?
Yes, where can we buy them if we're, not going to shows?
If you're not going to shows?
Like a website to buy your merchandise.
Oh, no. I don't have like a website. I mean, you just have to come to our shows to buy my shirt.
Okay. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. Great. Let's get into it. You work for Riot Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Yes. Riot Wrestling is now one of the brands. The main name of the company is Resist Pro Wrestling, and there are two brands there, like Riot, which I am part of the roster, and Rage, which is the other brand, more sort of rookies and wrestlers that you don't see as much in Riot. I've been there maybe like 8-9 years, and it's been my home. I've wrestled all across Spain and some countries and other companies from different countries. But Resist, Riot, Rage, whatever, it's the place that I called home.
Okay. And you are the current Riot Absolute Champion. For
yes.
almost a whole calendar year, 365 days.
Yes.
What does holding that title for so long mean to you?
I mean, for me, it has been like the run of like my life. I had a long title reign with the mid-card championship like 3 years ago, but it was due to COVID that my reign it was that length. But now I show like I showed to the people that I am able to defend my championship. I had a lot of fun doing my stuff, playing my gimmick character in front of live audience, and along the whole country now knows my name, and I'm like really proud of that.
There's a rarely do you see on the independents a title run kind of define a character like that. You know what I mean?
No. Can you like repeat it?
It's usually title runs on the independents.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in America. You know, you just win the championship and, you know, that's kind of it. You defend it. But, you know, you're actually having a run with it. You're you're making the most with what's given to you by being the champion. You understand?
Yeah. Yes. So as like if we speak about wrestling, there is of course like what you see in ring, but there's also like the gimmick, the character. So I know, of course I know it because it's myself, but I know what my character is like perfectly. I have like no doubt when it's Guillermo outside the ring and Guillermo inside the ropes. So I'm having like that much fun. You can see it on my videos in Instagram and blah blah. And that's why I think like booking team like relies on me, you know?
Right. And you could correct me if I'm wrong here, but you wasn't always Guillermo. You were a bodyguard at one point,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's like, yeah. It was also a fun times. Yeah, I was a rookie. I trained like 6 months, and like the bookers told me, "Hey, we want to book you for some shows, but you need a gimmick." Blah 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 blah. We thought about this. A bodyguard. We have talked with your with another guy because at that time he wasn't my friend, and he will play an Arabic, prince. He will be the Sultan, and you will be his bodyguard. And I said, okay, that's fine for me. I mean, it's wrestling. I mean, I can like act that I'm actually a bodyguard. So I had like more or less like 3 years. 3 years. 3 years doing this gimmick, and the pity thing about that is that I got injured, then he got injured, so we couldn't get like as much as we could. And then he left wrestling, and booking team told me, hey, what do you want to do now? And I said, I mean, if you give me the chance, I can be one like charismatic heel. Just give me the microphone and give me like some time, and you won't regret it. And like step by step, year by year, show by show, I was building what I am today.
Hell yeah. Now, and talking about building who you are today, can you tell us about being a Don Andreas guy?
Yeah, I mean, Don Andres is like in real life, he's one of my best friends now. if we are talking like in kayfabe, he was he is a manager, and he had another client, which was the former Absolute Champion Carranza, and then he betrayed him just to work with me. This alliance that now is a friendship, I mean, it worked perfectly. I couldn't ask for a better friend and for a better manager and for a better like guy that Don Andres. And that concept of like doing this like Paul Heyman guy thing and blah blah, it came to my mind because he couldn't be for 2 or 3 shows in a row, so I was like alone. So on the first show that he wasn't there, I made myself like a black shirt, and then like the design of the design I can't design, I asked for a friend, but I did the whole other thing, and like it was like part of my gear now, because I wanted to pay it was my way to say thank you, Don Andres, for being there, and now that you're not here, I mean, it's all on me, but I still remember you even if you're not here. So yeah.
All right. And you and Don have done some interesting videos outside of the ring,
Yep.
including movie parodies of
Yes.
Love
Yes.
Actually and the Barbie movie.
Yeah. I'm asking you like this, James. Have you seen like every single one of the episodes?
I've seen a few of them. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't necessarily understand it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a thing that happened when we knew that we were gonna like be like a tandem. We started to like discuss some things. Hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. For example, the first video, it's based on Love Actually. So he was wearing always a black suit because Carranza was more like a serious gimmick. He was like, I mean, like a destroyer, like a guy with no like expression. So the black suit like suits perfect for that Don Andres era. But with me, that I'm a little bit more cocky, I can play a little bit more with the audience. I told him, hey, I think that we can add like some things outside of the shows and post it in our social media, and of course like not everybody will see it, but if some people watch this on Instagram, and then on the shows look, little details are implemented on each show, it will be like fun. It will be funnier for them and for us. So we spoke last year, and I told him, I mean, the first video, which is Love Actually, it should be the scene with Ryan Gosling told the other character, Michael Scott from The Office, that he needed a change. I mean, we can portray that and do like the same exact thing, and like the excuse for the video is that I want to put you like some color, some flavor on that suits, and yeah, that was the beginning, and then we are like having like fun like every single time that we do videos.
All right. Excuse me.
No worries.
So, Love Actually fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. I've watched it like 5 times.
And obviously it kind of started with that one. But the Barbie movie one, it was more of a musical than.
Yes, 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 yes. It was his idea, like completely. We we usually do this thing. I make the script, and he we record it together. Blah blah blah. We ask, for example, my girlfriend for help or friends, and then he make the video. That's our 50-50% of working together, and then we release the videos for all of you, for the audience. So he told me, hey, I want to do this Barbie thing. It was the boom of Barbie, of course.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it works. And he told me, I have the lyrics translated for our Guillermo and Don Andres relationship. I have everything. I was like, okay, let's make it. I mean, I trust you. Let's see how it works. We went I live nearby a mountain which called Montjuic, and we went there. People, of course, were looking us because I was in my gear. He was with that big jacket of Ken, and we started to do playback, and then we had to edit it, make the mouth go with the music, because we couldn't it was a hell of a job for him, and we recorded this. Yeah, sorry.
You have to sync it.
Yes, we had to sync it, but yeah, we had a lot of problems, and we record the audio in Madrid the day before, because we were booked in La WRESTLINGWITHE, which is the major company there, and we were in a friend's house, and we asked, hey, can we use this just to sing? Yeah, sure. We sang the whole song, then we went to the show, and then we went home the next day. I took a shower, we went to record, we end, and that was my whole Sunday for me, because I passed away after that, because I was so tired. But it was so much fun. Then I made the script. He made the song, I made the script, and I mean, people loved it. Yep. So
now that we have a few of these movie parodies, so to speak, what's coming up next?
Yes. I can tell you this. So I think that tomorrow we release a little movie thing, but it's answering an open challenge. But we are recording. We are preparing everything to film. Here in Spain, we have Estrella Damm, which is a beer brand, the most famous here in Catalonia. And every single year, this brand releases a little movie, just to advertise that, hey, summer is coming, blah blah. Every year, they made an advertisement which reflects summertime, good vibes, water, blah 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 blah. So we are now in this season. So I told him, hey, let's do a parody of Estrella Damm beer. So we are setting up all these things.
Okay. Now, you've wrestled Nina Samuels. Obviously a name on the independents. What was that experience like?
Wow. I mean, she's strong as fuck. I mean, wow. It was a great experience. I was a little bit nervous because she is a former WWE superstar.
Yes.
And it was like my first experience with someone like that experienced, and she has worked with with NXT UK, and she had like that big vision. And I like told her that I worked with another like big name in the UK, which is Debbie Keitel, and I had like so much fun with her, like so much. With my match with Debbie, it was like it is one of my favorite matches like ever. So I had like the same idea, because before us was Haskins, so it would be like pure wrestling. So we wanted to do more like man versus woman match gimmick, and it was fine. It was fine, and I really enjoyed like my time with her, like speaking and blah blah blah, and like, hey, can you like give me some like tips or like some kind of feedback? And we talked that day like a lot.
And mentioning the Debbie Kettle match, you were somewhat diabolical in that match.
Yeah. Yes, I was. Yeah. I mean, as I told you, it was one of my favorite matches, like ever. Last year, before I like won my Absolute Championship, you could tell that Riot was pushing me to the top card, and I think that the match before the match before against Debbie Keitel and with Debbie Keitel were like those big matches, those big moments where like Riot said, yeah, we are dropping the championship onto him. I mean, I don't know what if you ask her, I don't know what's gonna tell you, but I think that we had a great chemistry, like from the get-go. We had that chemistry. I remember that I was doing some stuff on the venue, and then she arrived. She said like hello, and then she came to me directly. Hi, I'm Debbie. You're Guillermo. Blah blah blah. I saw your matches. Blah blah blah. Let's do this, do that. Wow. I mean, she's a queen. I like her so much, and I had like that aura on the match because people were booing me like as fuck.
Yeah.
It never happened before, because I only grabbed the microphone on the beginning and people were like shouting me like shut the fuck up, blah 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 blah. And then the match happened, and we had a spot that I want to kiss her. I said, girls on the crowd, who wants a kiss from Guillermo? Boo! I don't know. It was a joke. I want a kiss from Debbie. Oh. And then we had a spot of the like she runs away, and the referee, which was also a girl, like kisses me. That like people like pop on that moment. And then we had like another moments, like for example, I put her on doggy style. People were like mad at me. It worked. I mean, it worked. Wrestling, I mean, for me, wrestling is those things. Apart from the sport thing,
Right.
is creating those moments like that stays on the people's mind. You know, like, hey, I was on that show, and fuck, Guillermo put Debbie on a doggy style. What a dickhead. So, I mean, you remember me, you remember the match. Good job.
And speaking of moments, you had a choir sing you out to the ring once.
I had what?
A choir, singer.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I have to thank Don Andres again for that. I was thinking, because anniversary is our biggest show of the year, and I always do like big entrances since last year. Like I did like 3 with the choir, 3 big entrances. I did 1 female singer on anniversary last year, one male singer on season finale when I won the championship. And in this year's anniversary, I thought, what it could be like bigger. Now I'm the champion. What suits me? And I was thinking maybe I know a girl that plays the violoncello, and I had always on my mind like a choir. Like it would be amazing to have like something similar of like Bobby Roode in NXT Takeover.
Yes.
And I talked with Don Andres. Hey, I had this idea. Something like about that? And he told me, shut up, Guillermo. Don't worry. I got it. And I said, okay. Next day, we were like talking with choir. And I was like, man, I never thought that having like a manager, it would be like that much fun. I mean, he did all the job. Then, of course, we rehearsed like together. I had on my mind what I wanted, and I told them, we will do Ave Maria, like angelical thing on the beginning. Then we will stop, and then we will sing my theme song with you guys on the choir, and then blackout. My music hits. You can sing as long as my music hits, and I entrance. It worked perfectly. People were amazed for that entrance, and I remember it worked for my character, and it worked for the match. It gave the importance that it has. So I was like, proud of that entrance and that job that we did, like behind the curtains.
You like I said prior, you're a Don Andreas guy. It seems like Don Andreas is a Guillermo guy as well. Like you really connected in that way.
Yeah. Yes. We make like a real bond. Like we were like not friends, but we knew each other before our relationship on the kayfabe. But as soon as this relationship, like Don Andres and Guillermo started, our chemistry, like same as Debbie, worked perfectly. We talked like every single day. I talked more to him than with my girlfriend, which is I mean, watch out. But I talked that with the booking team. We talked that we wanted to do manager and client, but we wanted to make people like on the crowd on our events think that we maybe are more than friends, and people shout out to us that we are gays, that we are like, I mean, are people on our crowd homophobic? That's the question that I put there. But it's fun because people, kids, adults, I mean, in general, attack us, like saying that we are gays, that we are like kiss each other, blah blah blah, go to a total room, and we really, really, really enjoy like that because it was we wanted from the get-go. Like we talk with booking team. I want to build that kind of gimmick, and it will work, and it worked. So, I mean, we define like this era that we are now in here in Riot as the nymphobic, and the word is nymphomaniac. Because our gimmick is that we are like with girls all the time. We go to Madrid and we are with the girls, and we go to Valencia. We are like surrounded by our fans, like female fans, and we play that part of the gimmick that we are like always, hey girl, like give me your number, blah blah blah. But also we play that we are maybe more than friends, because when I, for example, I have like the face like on the floor on the mat, and I'm doing some things to the crowd, I said like, hey Don, kiss me on my cheek, and people like react, of course, like and I mean, what can I say? He is also a big fan of mine, because if you see his social media, he's always like, my sweet love, my little cake of strawberries, how are you? And it's like, I mean, it works perfectly.
Seems like Don might be getting in the ring against your girlfriend at some point.
yes, of course. Yeah, my custody. It will be like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero from Dominic's custody.
That's what I was thinking as well.
But I mean, it's like, from my point of view, it's been amazing, like how it worked. Last show that I wrestled Sozaya, he was getting booed a little bit, and he's fucking Sozaya, which is like he's wrestling in Red Pro, and I was getting a little bit cheered for like a bunch of fans, like they had like a big poster of my name, and they revealed an art that we did from the from God and Adan, you know, that art that of the fingers.
Yeah.
We make the same thing of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, but with Don Andres' face and my face. In a match, it got like the other wrestler like broke it, and I was like, oh no! And then a kid with his father like collect all the pieces, and the next show with Sozaya, hey, we revealed it. What? What? I mean, it's working now. Of course, it will have an end. I don't know when, but now I enjoying like this run of my life.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us about not being a fan of death matches and then actually competing in one?
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of death matches, because I think that it's like, of course, wrestling is injuring your body because you want, but for me, death matches are like grotesque.
I understand.
Although I enjoyed a lot my dog collar, and I played, and TJ, which was my opponent, played also, and next day I couldn't move from my bed. I was like, oh fuck. It was something that the storyline was asking, you know, so the storyline reaches his highest point. Let's do an extreme match, which was a dog collar, and we had so much fun. But it's some things that I would do once every single like 2 years, or when the storyline it's like asking that.
Right.
Doing death matches or extreme matches for like every single show, no thank you. I mean, I'm not as that fan of death matches. I've seen some in GCW, for example. Now I forgot his name.
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage, thank you so much. I was living in Chicago, and I went to a show for GCW, and I saw Nick Gage against another guy. Okay, I mean, that's fine for me, but I prefer other like types of wrestling, you know. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also maybe because I've watched like the 75% of wrestling that I watch it's WWE, and the extreme matches that I watch in WWE, it's like a little bit boring. And then when I watch something that it's like with a chainsaw, and then in YouTube, grotesque for me. So yeah.
I understand. It's only it only feels right when it's called for, when it's an
Yes.
appropriate time to have
When
it.
it's, yes, when it's a heated rivalry, and when the, as I said, the storyline asks it. So
All right. You mentioned it. You wrestled in Chicago. A very different part of the world from Spain.
yes.
What was that experience like wrestling in America?
So yeah, I went to Chicago for studies, but I wanted to like try, but from the get-go I was like, okay, I will go to train and just see if if the level of Spain in that time it's good, or we had to like go a little bit like harder here. And I went there, and people were like, oh, cool, yeah. I mean, here in Spain, we don't have like a big culture in wrestling. We are like working on that, but we don't have it. So I went there, and I went to some shows, and then I met some Mexican guys, and I asked, hey, I saw that you have a show tomorrow, blah blah blah. Hey, yeah, come, but we can't book you because the booking like it's full, but come either way. Okay, I will come. So I came, and the referee didn't appear. The referee wasn't there, and I saw that I was in the crowd, and I saw like it's weird because the referee on the first match, it's a wrestler, and I was like, okay. So I went backstage, and I asked like the promoter, hey, everything is okay? No, it's not okay. We need a referee. I can do it. Yeah, sure. I was in a sport like clothes, but I mean, it was the best option that they had. So I was there, and I was refereeing the whole matches, like 2+ hours. And then I went backstage. The promoter told me, hey, thank you so much. You saved the show. I will book you next show, and next show, and next show, and next show. I said, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Then I opened up another guy that was running a show on Chicago. Yeah, come in. I can't pay you, but I don't care if you pay me or not. I just want to wrestle. I mean, it's fine for me. And then freelance asked me, which was for me like the major one. For me is the major company in Chicago. I was talking with the head coach Isaias, and he told me, hey, we want to book you here. We will try first on the pre-show, and then we will see. Okay, cool. And I wrestled one rookie, which is one of my friends now. And on backstage, when I returned to Gorilla Position, they told me, hey, we want to book you more. And I said, I'm leaving like in 1 week, because it was December, November.
Right.
And they said, no way. If we knew that before, we had booked you like in some main shows. And I said, hey, I mean, no worries. I understand that. I rather prefer you to tell me that you would have booked me more now than maybe booked me like the first month, and then no more chances. For me, it was like one of the best times of my life, not only in wrestling but on my life in general. I enjoyed a lot my time in Chicago. I learned a lot my time in Chicago. It was a blast for me. And yeah, I think that like my character, like my attitude or my character, like helped me, because I was like, hi, I'm Guillermo, I'm from Spain, nice to meet you, we can talk about that. Yeah. So I had to like go for myself. I mean, I had to invest on me,
Right.
and for me, yeah. So it worked, and I'm so happy and glad and proud of that season.
Wrestling wise, crowd wise, any differences you saw, compared to Spain?
No, I mean, they understand a little bit more some things. For example, more comedy things. They understand more than here. Here it's a little bit weird or cringy. Maybe it's our fault for the wrestlers that we don't gave them the enough time to understand what's going on and then go to the spot. But from the other things, for example, freelance works more or less as Riot Wrestling, as Resist. So from that, no.
Okay. Well, speaking of, the comedy aspect of pro wrestling, I did find there was a connection between you and another wrestler. Can you tell us about Chicharito?
Chicharito, yeah, a good friend of mine, a good friend. So this gimmick idea came because I'm an actor and I work in theaters, and I had a show, like it was a crazy comedy show, and one of the multiple characters that were on that show was a wrestler, and I had to came up with a name, and I was with my company, with my theater company. Hey, the name, it will be Chicharito. I don't know why, but it was Chicharito. Chicharito Riot, in honor to Riot Wrestling. So I had a Santos mask, my gear, which said Guillermo, but I mean, I couldn't find anything else for my theater show. And it worked. So we were booking Rage, a show for the rookies, and we needed a tag team that could like make the job to Aula Oberta, which is our tag team champions now. And I came with that idea. Hey, I have this mask man. I can make him like mop the floor, and that's like everything like he does. And he has one French friend that he enters with a baguette, which was like the guy that plays Luis Masson. We are like always changing who's inside the mask, but that day it was the head booker of Riot. I mean, he's like so much, like he's a fun guy when he's inside the ropes. He had like so much charisma, and we were masked. We entered, and the only thing that we did, it was like mop the ring and then like provoke the other team to came, and then they like fell because it was like it was wet. Yes. You know, but it was a fun match. It worked. I mean, and I took the pin and go home, and it worked. So sometimes it's like Chicharito like comes to our show and he wrestles like, well, yeah, I mean, that's the comedy gimmick, and I think that the crowd understands like what's Chicharito.
So it is definitely not the last we've heard of him.
Oh, no. I think like he will like for sure, like at least once per season, I think that he can appear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to Guillermo's bizarre adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
A weird story.
Yes.
Look, it's not well. It's weird, but well, I mean, I will explain it. So I was in Chicago, and I had a match. I was about to go to Cicero Stadium, which is a big stadium there, and that day, for me, happened like two things. I was on the train going there, and one man approached me and said, "Hey, I need your mobile phone to make a phone call." I mean, I'm not like super smart, but I'm not like that dumb.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and I told him, "Hey, it's a no, but it's a no because I'm from Spain. If you call here like someone from the States, like the company will charge me like a lot of money, and I don't want that." So he left, and 5 seconds later, like he started to like shouting at me like, "Hey, piece of shit, go to your country." It was a he was an unscripted promo, and I was like, I was not afraid. I was like just paying attention, because if he came to me, I like punch him or whatever, just because he was like so aggressive. I don't know why. I didn't told him like, "No, fuck off, get out of here." No, I said, "Hey, no," because he will charge you like a lot of money. I don't know. Maybe he had a bad day, whatever. So I had this experience on the train, and then I arrived to Cicero Stadium, and the major promoter told me, "Well, your opponent is not here, but he will arrive." Okay. 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. The show is coming. No, your opponent is not here. 15 minutes before the show like begins, "Hey, your opponent is not here. You will face this guy. It's okay? Yeah. You're the opener. Huh. Okay. Cool." So we had like 5 minutes just to prepare the match, and we did a solid job. The crowd was into it. It was like 1,000 or 2,000 people, and we really had a good time. And I went to Gorilla, and the major promoter told me, "Hey, good job." Okay, thank you. Bye. So yeah, those two crazy things happened to me that day.
Yeah, I would definitely say a bizarre adventure, but
Yeah.
that's just if you live in Chicago, that's just a normal day in Chicago.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, Chicago. I miss Chicago.
Alright. Now another part of Guillermo is your gear. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but primarily your gear is inspired by Pokemon, no?
Two of my gears, yes. I have a purple blue gear, which is inspired in Diamond and Pearl editions of Pokemon, which is like my favorite. And I have the gold silver gear, which is inspired in gold and silver Pokemon editions. But the other hat, like also, when I think about the gear, I like to portray like my pop culture into it, because I mean, I like, so why not? My black gear, which is like the main gear, it's inspired in Negan from The Walking Dead. He has this black leather jacket, black trousers, So I wanted that color, and it's like inspired in Negan from The Walking Dead. Then I had the red and gold, which is inspired in Iron Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The blue, purple, which of Pokemon. The gold and silver, which also is in Pokemon. I had to do another black gear because my old black gear was like old. It was super old now. And the green one, which it's not inspired in like pop culture, but it's inspired in a stable that I was supposed to be in here in Spain, but at the end, booking team didn't want. So I mean, yeah.
Okay. Is there any ideas for new gear coming up?
There's like a bunch of ideas like on my mind, and I had like on my mobile phone, but I made a deal with my girlfriend and with a friend that it's that I don't make, because I was spending a lot of money on my gears. Every single season it was like 2 or 3 gears. But I like. I mean, it's not like an addiction, and I prefer to give my money to gear makers than drugs. I mean, so I make a deal in a car. Like, I don't make any gear until 20, when I like in 2 years, and they pay me a whole gear for me. And I said, you got a deal, because I can wait. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I have like 5 years that I can try, and 2 years. Of course, I can make it. I mean, it's been 1 now, so TikTok, and they will pay me 1 gear, a whole gear, like jacket, tights. If I use it, a shirt, knee pads, yeah, kick pads, whatever, the whole gear.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal. And
Yeah.
You're getting closer.
I'm getting close. Yes.
And you mentioned Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why any novel about zombies is your weakness?
Yes, The Walking Dead is one of my favorites. I must say that the final arc of The Walking Dead is a little bit weak, but I mean, and I had like my favorite trilogy of books of zombies, which is called El Cuarto Jinete, which in English is the fourth. Let me search.
Yeah.
The Fourth Horseman.
Okay.
Excellent. I mean, it's perfect from the beginning until the end. I'm not kind of like a sentimental person, and I don't cry like ever. When I read the last book, I was in tears. I mean, it's that guy. That it's a book from Spain, from a Spanish guy. It's magic. I mean, I really enjoy it. But I'm looking now my library here. I have a bunch of mangas, comics, books, of course, and I really enjoy, like, if the story is good and like attracts me, I'm into it. I mean, definitely 100%. I don't know if you have heard about Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, very familiar with Full Metal Alchemist.
Cool. My finisher, which is Hidden Blade from Will Ospreay, here in Spain, it's rebranded as Alchemia because of Full Metal. I mean, people know that Alchemia is my finisher because Full Metal Alchemist for me, it's like my favorite like manga like ever.
Oh yeah. I actually have Edward's um watch, pocket watch. So yeah, I'm a fan as well.
Okay, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, I have like a lot of like mangas and everything. Like, I like to read a lot. Yeah,
Did you just read the manga or did you watch the anime as well?
manga,
Okay.
manga, only manga. Yeah, yeah.
That being said, which is your favorite sin?
Sin,
Yeah,
like,
in Full
I
Metal
mean,
Alchemist, you have lust.
yeah. Mm, greed. For me, it's greed. Because he has like a full arc of evolution. On the beginning, he's like a heel character, and then like step by step, he's working and turning into a face, and then he got like eaten by his father. Yeah, greed for sure. Yeah.
Alright. Now you mentioned it earlier. You are actually an actor as well. Can you
Yes.
tell us about the Monumental play?
Yes, that play, it is where Chicharito born.
Okay.
Yeah, and I worked on a theater for a season, and I really also like enjoyed that time. Um, yeah, so I was like ending my studies, and this play came. We wrote the whole play with our director, and it worked so well that we got like an offer from a theater, like, hey, come to do this with us. And then we went there, we finished there, and then we went to little towns to make the play. It was also a good time. Yep. I think that, for example, my character works so well here, or that I'm not shy when I do wrestling because of my studies in theater. I am used to work with crowd, and I really enjoy to entertain people. Um, as an artist, for example, I'm not that kind of artist that I want people to think like super deep. No, I just want to entertain them, to make them like forget his life during the time that the show is running, and then like, hey, it was a really good experience. I will like come back. For me, that's like what I'm looking for always when I do wrestling thing or theatrical thing. When I do wrestling, for example, I try to look on the eyes of a guy, girl, whatever, and like catch them onto my atmosphere. And that way, I think that people will, hey, that guy which has the championship, look at me, I'm important, I will come back next show. That's it. That's for me.
Definitely. Obviously, acting and wrestling go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever you can have that background, it definitely helps in the ring. Right.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us about cooking with Norma and William?
Yeah, you have you did like a great research like for things.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I mean, it's like different kind of interview. Nona, which is like, she's my girlfriend. we've been together for 2 years. It will be like 2 years in next month. We have a great chemistry together, and we are laughing the whole day that we are together. For me, that's a good and healthy relationship. So I hate cooking. I can no, it's a no for me. I mean, if I live alone, of course, when I was living in Chicago, I had my former girlfriend. Of course, I have to cook. Yeah, I don't have any other options. But if I can avoid it, I will avoid it. I don't like it. So we were one day, and we were doing some dish, and we were thinking, hey, why don't we record this, and then we edited it, and then we posted it on Instagram. It will be fun. And it was fun. It was really, really fun. And then we did some different dishes, and people liked. I mean, I when I post things, I don't do it for likes. I do it because I really like to have my memories in one place. Of course, I post things about wrestling because I want to reach more promotions and blah blah. But when I expose my private life, I do it because it's fun for me, and if I can entertain another people it's having a bad day and looks and watch my videos and lots a little bit, for me it's a great a great job, I would say. She likes to cook a lot, so for her it's for her it's a good time. For me, it's not that much. I mean, I don't know if you watched the all the episodes, but there's one chapter that I have a spider on my chest, and she took the time just to release this. I have arachnophobia, and she goes, "No, we have to go and put it on a glass, and then we have to read." What? Can you smash that spider and how? I mean, if it was a cockroach, what would you have done? No, it will be different. But it's a spider. Let's save it. I mean, it was a hard situation for me.
Have you had fun cooking any of the dishes that you had cooked?
Yes. I mean, it's not that I don't like cooking. I will be more specific. I am a little bit impatient. So when I'm hungry, I want to eat on that moment.
Okay.
And I don't want to waste time before because I'm doing things, and I don't want to waste time now because I'm hungry. And daily basis, I don't have time, so I have to prepare pasta and normal dishes. But when I have time, when I don't have anything else to do, which is one day per year, I can put a little bit on effort and cook some things. But cooking is not my thing. I mean, I cook well. I mean, if I cook you sometimes, you can eat it, of course. But it's that's the reason why I avoid the kitchen. Although, for example, I love to clean every single thing. I have to have everything in his place, and then clean, and then blah, and then put it here. No. My guitar, it doesn't have to go that way. It needs to go this way because I'm a very it's polite. Yeah, polite person. Yeah, polite.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, look at the upside. If your girlfriend loses the custody battle match against Don, you don't have to cook anymore.
Yeah. No. Don Andres, I love you so much, but he doesn't cook like that well. So no, I would rather like cook myself like things. Yeah. So for example, with my girlfriend, like she doesn't like to clean. I love to clean. I make the dishes. Yeah.
There's
She,
balance.
yeah, there's a 50-50 balance. She like uses 100 of tools. We eat, and then I clean. And for me, it's perfect because I love to clean. So there's no problem there.
Okay. Well, let's get into the colossal question. Let's say
Yeah.
they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Wow. So it's a hard question. I've never like thought about that. Look, maybe like the third song, it will be my theme song of wrestling, which is Vuelo Kamikaze from Nadia Rock. It always gives me that energy, and for me it's like when I listen to that song, I mean, it's like a sunny day, it's like a burst of energy. Then I would say on second place, I would say there's my favorite group here in Spain, which is Maldita Nerea. I would say Tu Mirada Me Hace Grande, which is a love song. And my favorite song on the first place, and like describes my life like at perfection, it's Shut Up and Dance With Me, which is also like a burst of energy. And I'm always like, I'm a chilly person. I mean, I have no trouble. If you want to travel, I mean, it's like no. And I'm not a good dancer, but I like this concept of forget about these problems and let's just dance and have a good time. So Shut Up and Dance With Me, for me, it fits like perfectly.
Okay. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are legally obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Oh. I can say like anybody on Earth, or like my friends, or what,
anybody
people...
you want. Alive or dead, CGI's a thing. We can make them younger, we can make them older, however you want, whoever you want.
I mean, I love this saga. I would love to see Ash Ketchum like being me, like playing me. Yeah.
Okay, so
You're from Pokemon. Yeah, from Pokemon.
So we're having this is going to be an animated film.
Yes, I would love to see how Pokemon and wrestling mixed up together. Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
So I have to choose 3 persons.
Yes.
3 people. Yes. Look, I would choose Don Andres.
Of course.
I would choose my best friend with this, like, he has like nothing to do like from wrestling. He's like a completely foreigner from that world. And I would love to see my father, but when he was young.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, my father when he was young.
And who will be playing these three individuals?
Like, who will?
Which actors?
Actors.
Yes.
You know Aaron Tveit he's a musical actor.
I think I do. Yeah.
He did Moulin. Well, he did Moulin Rouge. So I would say Aaron Tveit, just for fun, because he's in every single movie. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I would say yes. Let me Christoph Waltz. But for me, it's an amazing actor. So yeah, those three.
Okay. A solid, a big movie to say the least. A blockbuster.
Yeah. A blockbuster. Yeah.
You could pre-order the tickets now. All right.
Sorry.
You could pre-order the tickets now.
Yeah, you can pre-order. Yeah. Coming soon in your favorite theaters.
Now onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Yes. Totally agree.
So
there's nothing else to discuss. Yes. Yeah.
So we are very pro pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it tastes good. It tastes good. Yeah. I don't know like that much hate. It's because it's salad and sweet. Nah, I really like pizza with pineapple.
Okay. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Cyndaquil.
You had that right ready to go.
Cyndaquil. I mean, it's my favorite Pokemon. I had I had no doubt.
Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
THUC. Thuck.
No. The acronym for Tracy Smothers, Doug. THUG.
No.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
Thuck can spell.
Yes.
Okay.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers. We're trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
Okay.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview. Hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Yes, because for example, Kota Ibushi wrestled that toy, and it's like, you know, it's always like on the memories of the people. And I think that wrestling is more than just two guys, two girls, whatever, on a ring. You can do like so much from wrestling. So yes, I would definitely go for it.
Well, just for context, there was a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
And who won?
The Rock did.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I mean, technically technically they tied. It was 319 to 319, but The Rock was the world champion. So because it was a tie, he retained the championship.
Still, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Losing against The Rock. I mean, wrestling, it can, like, you never, like, know what to expect from wrestling.
Oh, yeah. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
One of two possible ways. One is working, because I'm studying now to be a voice actor here in Spain. So one is this one, and the other one is like getting a contract from wrestling. I don't like care if it's WWE. Of course, I would like love. I don't care if it's AEW. I don't care if it's TNA. I really don't care. If I make a life through wrestling, it's not for me. It wouldn't be like a job, you know. It's because I love this business. I really love it. So hopefully, it's one of those like roads, you know.
And you've already done some voice acting already. You did you narrated a Banksy documentary, no?
Yeah, I did. I did that, and now I haven't started now, but I would do a dub, a Catalan dub, which is my other language, from a series which is Has Been Hotel, which is in Prime. I will do that.
Okay. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about as a pro wrestler?
So I have to recommend a match?
Yes, one of your matches that you'd like people to see. If they didn't know who you were, they would know who you were by that match.
If it's gimmickly, like speaking, Guillermo versus David Keitel. That's it.
Okay.
I don't need it. Yeah. They will know who am I from that match.
Can we find that match on YouTube?
Yes, sure. You can, if you put Guillermo Resist, you can find a lot of my matches.
Perfect. And I will find that match on YouTube, and I will put a link to it in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Thank you.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Shawn Michaels.
Worst wrestler.
Jinder Mahal.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
If it's like now, it will be Gunther. If it's like from like if you are asking me whatever like wrestler, Shawn Michaels.
Okay. If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Walter, not Gunther. Walter theme song, which is the 9th Symphony of the Dvorak.
That's right. I even forgot that he came out to that.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
essential for wrestling.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
Fruit.
Yes, it is indeed a fruit. Tomato logic. It has seeds. New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, What is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
The butt? Sorry, I didn't understand.
How much when you're wearing trunks, not you specifically, but when a wrestler wears trunks, how much
yeah.
of their butt should be hanging out of the trunks?
No butt. All covered.
Full coverage.
Yes.
Okay. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No. Never. No, never.
And that is the correct answer.
Great.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Oh, thank you for inviting, and sorry for the other days.
Oh, no worries. And once again, where can we find all things Guillermo on social media? Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, yeah, sorry. In Instagram is Guillermo Wrestler, and in X it's Guille Wrestling.
Alright. And if you want merchandise, you have to come to a show.
Yes. Or DM me and I will send you one shirt, yeah.
Perfect. Alright, and you don't have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt.
Yes, please help me.
The man needs new gear.
Yeah.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram, for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wet, you say entertainment, okay?
Okay.
For our very special guest Guillermo, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.